Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Now we're going to do a how to play and playthrough of Kapow Volume 2 by Wise Wizard Games.
Oh.
This is for 1 or 2 players. That means it has a solo mode. You can also play co-op, and you can play team 2 versus 2. And it takes about 20 minutes to play, and it's for ages 12 and up. We appreciate Wise Wizard Games sending us this copy.
Oh, that was very nice of them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then Volume 1 we acquired on our own, which we may do a video for that as well. So let's take a look at what you're doing here. This is a player versus player. You're trying to knock out the other player. Now you can play without special characters when you're learning the game. So that means you wouldn't have this sideboard here. The other side is used if you want to make reverb a AI, a computer opponent, if you're playing solo or you're doing co-op mode. So this side right here, you're not going to use. You can play without the special characters and just play with generic powers, but this adds more options. So I'm playing the villains, reverb, and Julie's playing the heroes, crescendo. And what you look here is you look for the health. So it says 22 and 25 right here.
We have to switch.
Oh, yes. So here's 22. And you can see this is the villain dial right here. And because I have the lowest health, I will take the first player token. Now this will change depending on how much defense a player uses between rounds. So if Julie uses more defense, she will take the first player token. If we end up using the same amount of defense, I will keep it. And of course, if I use more, I will keep it as well. Now, right over here on the side tells you what dice you start with. And right here is a great reference guide. It tells you what things are called, because sometimes I forget what they're called as well. So you have trait dice, which are dice with faces on them. And you have action dice, which are dice you can add sides to. So here I start out with, and it tells you what they are, a might die, well, a red die, a yellow die, a green, a blue, and then one action die with a wild face. Now that tells you here what each die, what faces are on each die, so you don't have to sit here and rotate them. So a red die is going to give you more might, which you can use on attacks here, you're going to see. A yellow die is going to give you more energy, which you can combine with attacks and combine with power-ups. A purple die is going to give you more toughness, which you'll use in defense and for some power-ups and after power-ups. A green die is going to give you more agility, which you can combine with defense and again stuff on the right side here. And then blue gives you more X factor, which you can use to acquire more action dice usually and more trait dice. The left side right here is what's going to be different per character. So there are other characters you can play with. There's 2 more villains. So here's 2 more villains here and 2 more heroes. Now you do get another one of these a quick reference. And normally you have it up like this. So if I turn to the other camera here, we'd be sitting across from each other and we wouldn't see how we're allocating our dice, and then we reveal how we've allocated our dice. So we roll them simultaneously, and then we allocate them, and then we say, okay, I'm done, and you're done, and then we reveal. In terms of turn order, the first player would do their attack first, and then Julie would tell me how she defended. So if I do a 9 attack, and she defended 5, I only do 4 damage to her. So you're going to subtract defense from attack. And then Julie will go. This is why the first player marker is important, because if I manage to KO Julie before she gets to attack me or heal, then I win. So the first player token has a huge advantage in that way, that you can knock somebody out before they get the chance to heal. Now the turn sequence is here. We're going to go through that as we play. You'll see that there's differences in iconography in terms of sides. So this will say here, you have to place a might die, or you can place a wild. So a wild on any die can be used to replace any type of die that you see here. Doesn't matter if it's showing a trait or a action die. Blanks, an action die here that has no sides is considered a blank.
No face.
Yeah, no face. Thank you. That's a better.
Yep.
That's a better way to say it. So an action die with no face is basically considered a blank. But every die here has a blank except the red dice. Notice the red dice has an X factor.
Ah.
Okay. So it may say here, for instance, non-blank action die. So I couldn't place this here, and they would have to match. We'll do that as we go along in the game. You'll see how that works. That you'll look at this key here as we assign dice, and I'll explain it. Now you also need to read your special character. So for instance, during setup, I may exchange one of your trait dice with one of your opponent's trait dice. So I'm going to trade my blue die for Julie's red die. So that way she can't attack as easily, because I want to attack more. So that's one thing I can do. Crescendo does not have anything like that. So we'll explain the powers as we're playing. Other than that, the order is the first player attacks, second player attacks, then we do our power-ups, and then after power-ups. And these are special things that can happen. One thing that you may not is not as clear as it could be in the rule book is that the base attack, see that one here? Mm-hmm. You can only select one of these. Okay, so that means that's how much damage you're going to do. Your attack kicker, there's no number here, so if you can even do all three of these if you really wanted to. So if I, for instance, placed this here, that if I rolled that would be 4. And if I did that, it's 4 plus 2. But if I was able to get this, for instance, that would be 4 plus 2 plus 5. Over here is attack multiplier, because we can acquire more dice here with power-ups from the pool here. If I had even more dice, you can only do one attack multiplier. So if I had 4 here or even 6 dice here, it could be 4 plus 2 plus 5
That's
multiplied. Oh yeah, well I meant to say 2 plus 3 is 5. So that's 9 multiplied by whatever's here.
Oh, wow.
So it says attack, kicker, and multiplier. So that'd be 4 plus 2, 6, plus 3, 9, plus 2, 11, times 2. I do 22 damage. I would have to, of course, roll that and place all the dice there. But you can only do one attack multiplier. You can do as many kickers as you want, and only one base attack. It's the same thing with defense. You can only do one base defense, one of these. You can do as many defense kickers as you can place dice, and you can only do one defense multiplier. So you see the line here. Now power-ups, you can do as many power-ups and after power-ups as you want. The only rule that, so we're going to roll our dice, and then we're going to, if we use an immediate, for instance, fill any number here. Say I don't like what I rolled here. I can use any die here. Doesn't matter if it's a non-blank face. It just says any die. I can, for each die placed here, re-roll one of your dice. So say I don't like what I rolled here. I can place a die here and re-roll this. Okay, but then I need to say to Julie, I'm doing a re-roll. Here is a quick breath. You can gain 3 health immediately. So if I were to place a might and, well, I don't have any purple. So notice the only way I'm going to get a toughness is on my green die.
Or purple.
Which I don't have. You have that.
Yep.
I could have taken yours, but I took your might, your red
My
die.
red die, yeah.
So here I could say gain 3 health, and then I go up on my, but you can't go above your starting. So that's something to keep in mind. So those are the only time that when we're going to roll, and as we're assigning dice, we need to let the other player know if we've used one of those immediates. So the turn order is we're going to roll, we can assign dice anywhere on our boards, then I will attack first, and Julie will attack, and then I will do my power up first. Well, actually, I might not do my power up first because the turn order can switch after we determine who had the highest defense. But someone's going to do their power up first, and then after power up, and then then the next player would do their power up and after power up. When you get faces, which you can get over here, you'll assign faces during cleanup because you can modify these dice here. So normally you would play with a shield between us, but we're not going to be looking at each other's what we're doing here. So here we go. Now right here, you may think, well, I can use trait dice here. But these squares here, these black squares, indicate that I must use action dice. I can't use trait dice. It has to be a symbol like this that says any die. So down here, for instance, if I wanted to do this, I could use all 7 of my dice. But I'll probably get more bang for my buck if I do this instead. And then I can do this. Okay, so we've assigned our dice.
Yep.
So now I go first. I attacked with a 4 plus 2 because, see, these are wilds. The lightning bolts are wilds. 4 plus 2, I did 6 damage. Julie lets me know now. Did you have any defense?
I had 3 base defense.
Okay, and what do you get with
And
that?
I gain a non-wild face.
Right, so right here are the 9, the non-wilds are anything but the lightning bolt because the lightning bolt's wild.
I'm going to take a strength to
Okay.
hold on for later.
Right, so she'll put this right here. Get to put this. Now, even though she doesn't have an action die yet, she can still save this until she gets an action die. But here's the thing, she did 3 defense, right? So you're thinking, oh, 6 minus 3. However, I used my reverb ability. Your opponent's total defense is minus 4. So she did not get that 3 defense. I did 6 damage to her, so now she'll go down to 19. So I just straight up attacked her, didn't care about even defending, which means Julie's going to take the first player token from me, which could be bad.
And then I hit you.
Okay, how much did you hit me for?
4 plus 2, so 6.
So you did the same thing I did, but I didn't defend. So I go down to 16. We're just banging, we're just knocking each other up. Now we check here to see who gets the first player token. Julie does because she used more defense. Now this matters here for the power up and after power. Now we go to that phase. So did you do any power ups?
No.
Or after power ups?
No.
I did though. I gained a 9 non-wild face. I will take a might. Actually, you know what? I need to take a toughness because I don't have a purple die. Now I can put this on right away during cleanup. Yeah, players may attach and rearrange their faces, especially if you did something that allows you to rearrange or you have a power that does that. Julie, on the other hand, has to keep this until she gets an action die. So that's the first turn, and Julie's going to do her attack first. Not too good for me. I have a lot of blanks. Okay, I'm not doing too much here.
Me neither.
All right, so Julie, you attack first.
I attacked for 4.
All right, so you did a 4 attack.
Mm-hmm.
You're not using any of your abilities.
Nope.
Just so you know, her abilities here is if an opponent, if she were to place a toughness here, the opponent has more health than you, she would gain 3 health. Unfortunately, I have less, so it's not worth it for her to use that. If she were to place an X factor here, if your opponent gained any dice or faces during power up, you gain 3 non-wild faces. So this is like a prediction. It's, you know, she's not going to get anything if I don't get more faces in her. This is good though. Defense kicker for you +4 and your opponent, so you both get +4 defense. So this is, you might think, why even do that? Well, because if you're not attacking, that's why you take that. Who cares if you give your opponent 4 defense if you're not attacking them? This round you get +4 attack and your opponent gets +4 attack. So maybe this could be like a killing blow kind of thing. During attack, base attack equal to 1 or your opponent's highest selected base attack if greater. That's it. You might want to be doing that one more often.
Okay.
Now, like I said, my reverb, I took a die from her. We switched the die. If I have, this is any time here during power up. If I get down to 4 or less health, I immediately go to 5. So that's why Julie has to do a lot of damage to me. Otherwise, I'll just keep on regenerating. If I place an energy here, all my X factors become blanks, but I get a +3 attack kicker, a free one. You already saw me use the -4 on her defense. And then here, if I place an X factor next round, gain an attack kicker equal to the health you lost this round, max 4. So you got to kind of remember that one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. All right, so how much attack did you do?
4.
Okay, I did block 2.
Okay.
So I go down 2.
All right.
However, I do gain a non-wild face.
Okay.
I guess I'll take one of these. All right, I did not attack. No,
Okay.
you didn't defend, so I
No.
will be first player. So now we do power-ups. I gain a trait die. And then here I gain a non-wild face. I will take one of these.
All right. I gain an action die and gain a non-wild face.
Okay, so finally got an action die.
Yes. I'm put my one I was holding
Because
on
there's certain
to.
spots. Right here, for instance, you have to use an action die. That's an action die.
Yep.
These are action dice.
And I think I will take. I think I'm going to
Just
take
put it down for now. Put it right here.
a purple.
Okay. All right, and then what did you do?
Opponent loses 3 health per die they gain during
All right,
power
I gained. She did a sucker punch. I did gain a die, and I went down. I'm down to 11. I'm not doing too good this game. It's probably because I really attacked Julie last game. Now, why
He
isn't it-
did. It was bad. It was over very quickly.
See, this one's not fitting in well.
Oh.
The die is really loose. Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yep. Next round. I do have 2 wilds here. If I want to heal. Or I just beat the crap out of Julie's character. Try to, anyways. Doesn't sound very nice.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, let's see if this was a good idea because I don't have a lot of health. If Julie went after me, that's probably a good thing if she did. I'll show you some of my powers. I am going to get a +3 attack kicker, but my X factors are blanks. So this is actually a blank, but I can put any die here. It doesn't matter if it's a blank or not, so that's okay. So I have 3 +3 +4, that's 10, and Julie will have -4 defense. What was your defense?
1.
1, so you take 9 damage. So you're down to 10. And I didn't defend at all.
I did 3 attack on you.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Julie's getting dice. I thought maybe you were going to go after me because I was so
You
low.
need to get more dice.
So that's an 8 now. Now Julie will be first player. So you do get your... I don't have any power-ups or after power-ups, so Julie does her dice first.
I got a trait die, and then I gain a non-wild face, and I'm going to use a yellow.
Okay, so you're going to gain a yellow. So now this is cleanup. Now we get to... I didn't get anything, so I'll be rolling here as soon as Julie's done.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Okay, here we go.
Well, that didn't help much.
Wow.
Darn it.
That would have been nice to be able to do this. But I needed another action die. I could almost do this. Okay, I am taking an immediate. I am healing 3.
Okay.
That means you can reallocate your dice, knowing that I'm now up to 11 if you want. Knowing that I have healed.
Right.
Okay. So I took an immediate right here. But I've assigned my dice.
Okay.
Okay. So that's part of the strategy. And you did reassign her stuff knowing that I did that. Okay, you're a first player. You get to attack me first.
4 plus 3, so I did 7 attack.
And I did not defend. So that's why I did that. Now here's the cool thing. I'm down to 4, right?
Yeah.
But because reverb has this power here, I will go up. I'll go to 5.
Don't you have to put a dice there?
What do you mean?
Well, how we have to put colored
No,
dice
no.
there?
This is an automatic.
Oh, nice.
No dice. That's what that symbol
Oh,
means.
okay. Good for
Okay.
you.
I gotta move this over. It's all right. Now I attack you.
Okay.
I did this one again. +3, +2, base attack 4. That's 9. Did you defend?
1.
All right. So you took 8. So you're down to 2. Now here's the thing. You have this to use, you know, to get more health. If your opponent has more health than you, you gain 3 health, and I
Yeah.
do right now.
Okay.
All right. You're the first player. You do your power up.
I gain an action die and gain a non-wild face.
All right, so you get another action die. No, that's a trait die. This is an action die.
Oh, thank you, honey. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And did you get a face here at all on that defense? No, you did not. Okay. So I go up to 5 because reverb heals a little bit. Now here's the thing. Julie is the first player. She can knock me out first, but she only has 2 health. So for me, I may try to defend a lot and only hit her a little bit. But then she may do this, assign that there. So we'll see what happens. Some options. Also depends on what we roll. Okay, so I'm gambling here a little bit. I rolled really well, though. I mean, I got really lucky, just so you know.
Well, that's good.
For instance, if anybody's looking up here, see how I was able to get this, because I got the right thing on my action die, and it equals any other die. So I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
Okay, so you're first. You get to beat me up. How much damage are you doing?
7.
Now, when does this happen here? During power up. Oh, you might not heal in time because that's during power up.
That's okay. I did 7 damage to you.
Oh, you did that. That sucks. Okay, but you give me +4. So I'm 4 plus 4 is 8 because I defended on 8.
Nice.
So you didn't do any damage to me. Now I'm the first player. I will be the first player. But that means you get +4 too. So, well, but then I did a -4. So this cancels out, that +4. I do 6. What's your defense over here? 1?
I'm dead.
Okay, so you didn't make it.
Game over. Game over, man.
I did gain a face just to show. And so I was able to eliminate Julie before she healed because this healing doesn't happen until during power up right here. So you see how lucky I got by getting that?
That was awesome.
That was very lucky.
That was very lucky. Good for you, honey.
So
That was fun.
So it was a close game,
Yep, and it took about 20 minutes.
and it could have gone the other way. If I would not have rolled that, Julie probably would have damaged me, and I wouldn't have done much to her because she would have had a lot of defense.
That's okay. I
All
had
right.
fun.
So we probably will play the co-op mode
Yeah, I like that.
and take a look at Volume 2 as well. I mean Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell your friends, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.